Hey data designer, today I'm going to walk you through the steps of creating a minimalist one-pager. Sometimes we overthink our designs. There's this feeling that you need to have more pictures or icons or colors in order to make a design stand out. But often a simple clean design is all you really need to share an idea. When you go into Canva, you're going to be tempted to click on the menu button that says Docs. But I would advise you not to do this. Canva's responsive docs are more like Google Docs than they are design layouts. And I find it's easier just to design in, write in Google Docs and design in Canva. Instead, I would search for report, then click on the report that is not responsive, the one that actually has measurements. So for me, that's 8.5 by 11. I know it's different if you're coming from a different part of the world that uses ISO international standards. This is going to give you a bunch of templates. We're just going to create a blank template. And don't worry, if you want to use the Canva template, you'll still have that option. Inside of your design, on the design tab, you'll see a bunch of templates. If you want to use the Canva template, just remember that many of the report templates shown have multiple pages. Just hover your mouse over top of the item to see the different internal layouts. While a report template might not have a cover you like, it might have some really good internal pages. And that would be enough for a one-pager. But for this tutorial, let's go ahead and create our layout from scratch. In the Elements tab, search for grids. You'll see different options come up. The actual grids menu is the one with the grid icon. My favorite grid for reports is the 3-column grid. These are technically photo grids, not layout grids, but we can still use them to lay out our template. I like to add a little bit of a margin before I start, so I pull the grid in on all the sides. Canva also has a natural margin that it suggests. You'll notice little lines pop up as you adjust your grid. I tend to just use their recommended options. Once we have our grid, we can start adding text boxes. Now, if you don't have text and don't feel like coming up with the dummy text yourself, we can use one of the apps inside of Canva to make things easier. In the apps menu, search for Lorem Ipsum. There are a few options and all work just fine. For this one, I'm going to use Quick Lorem. Quick Lorem lets you create text boxes filled with generated dummy text. You just say how many words, sentences, or paragraphs you want. I went ahead and created a 50-word paragraph. With a 3-column grid, the goal is to keep the text in only 2 columns. This gives you an opportunity to use the sidebar, or just leave a lot of white space for a clean, minimalist look. You can also play around with your font types and sizes. I decided to add one more element to my one-pager. I added a little box for a call out, quote, or even just to use as a place to put some information about the author. In the Shapes menu, I added a rectangle and put it at the bottom of the 3rd column. Then I changed the rectangle's color to blue. And lastly, I added a bit of dummy text to that as well. Now you can click inside the box and write directly inside the box, but what I like to do is add a text box over top. That way I have a little bit more control over where the text goes. Once I'm finished laying out the design, the next step is just to delete the background grid. And poof, there we have it, a minimalist template. I like to tweak things just a little with the grid gone, but after I'm done, it's time to download the design. If you have all your text in there, this might be where you download it as a PDF. But if you plan to use this as a template, either for yourself or to share with others in your organization, click on the More menu in the Share options and choose Template Link. Then create Template Link. Now you can share this template link with others and they can start filling in their text from where you left off without actually adjusting or changing the background template that you worked to create. And that's it. Here's our final visual. It doesn't take that much to make a simple one-pager feel more polished and clean, kind of like an internal spread in a magazine. But if you'd like, there are plenty of ways you can embellish this in order to make it your own. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It means a lot, and I will always read every single comment. And if you're interested in free resources like ebooks and courses, visit my resource library at freshspectrum.com/library. Now get out of your head and go create some stuff.